Let's wait for a couple more minutes till we have some more participants. Meanwhile, for the ones who just joined us now, if you are a Freedom to Walk and Cycle participant, please drop in your experiences in the chat box. All right, let's begin. A very good evening and a very warm welcome to everybody present here and to the ones who are watching us live on YouTube. I'm Aishwarya Soni, Deputy Manager for Strategic and Visual Communications at the Institute for Transportation and Development Policy. Today, we are going to be celebrating the Freedom to Walk and Cycle Challenge, an initiative of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, a milestone to commemorate the 75 years of India's independence. Today, we're joined by commissioners, smart city CEOs, senior officials, nodal officers. We have project management consultants with us, stakeholders, engineers. A very, very warm welcome to all of you. We would like to begin this session by presenting to you this agenda. We first have a few words by Mr. Kunal Kumar, Joint Secretary and Mission Director, Smart Cities Mission. Following this, Heather Thompson, CEO for Institute for Transportation and Development Policy, will be sharing a message. We then have Ashwati Dilip, the South Asia Director of ITDP, who will then take us through the journey of the Freedom to Walk and Cycle challenges. Following this, we have the much awaited awards ceremony. Post the award ceremony, we have a short presentation by Vaishali Singh, Deputy Manager, Transport Systems and Electric Mobility, who will give us an insight into the next steps and our target goals for 2023 across the three challenges: the India Cycles for Change Challenge, Streets for People, and the Transport for All challenges. We also take this opportunity to thank some of our city leaders who are participants from the Freedom to Walk and Cycle Challenge to speak about their experiences and future plans for the cities. We will follow this up with a short question and answer session and wrap this event with closing remarks from Mr. Rahul Kapoor, Director, Smart Cities Mission. Before I jump in, we would like to start with some housekeeping rules for everyone here. Participants and panelists, please feel free to chat and interact with each other in the chat box throughout the session. Please address the chat to panelists and attendees. If you have a question, please type it in the Q&A box. Our team will shortlist these questions for the Q&A session. And finally, if you like a question, you can also upload it to bring it to our attention. Without any further delay, let's commence the grand event by welcoming Mr. Kunal Kumar, Joint Secretary and Mission Director, Smart Cities Mission, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, to say a few words and kickstart the celebration. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Aishwarya. And I just request, if I am audible, and can I also get some other mics muted if possible? Thank you. Okay, so finally we know it was not a trick we were playing or not a prank. We actually have a declaration of winners. So it wasn't a New Year prank that was being played by the Smart Cities Mission. So on that sort of a comical note, I welcome all of you to this exciting awards announcement ceremony of the champions of the team, the champions of the Smart Cities Mission family across the country who have shown exceptional leadership and courage and enterprise in having participated in the three challenges that we launched at the start of the new year. Because this is an introductory speech, I'll start with the macro and then come down to the micro. I'll just put the perspective in place. All of us find joy when we personally link to the goals of the organization we work in, and then we link to the broader goals of the world that we inhabit. And if you ask anyone across the world randomly, which is that one area that they think is very important for all of us to work on, it will probably be, stop climate change or be more sustainable, and make the world move towards sustainable outcomes. And I presume 2 out of 3 citizens globally would say these are the most important things that all of us should be doing. And while these seem to be, very elusive, very abstract terms, what is sustainable? You know, you and I, then, when we see the things that we do in our cities, we take decisions about, street lights. Can street lights be LED versus sodium vapor? That is a big decision on sustainability. Can you actually see the kind of solid waste management practices you have, whether you have segregation at source, which means you are in some way looking at a circular economy, or you're trying to dump everything at a landfill site, which then becomes a very big nuisance wherever it is to handle. That is a decision which is clearly either sustainable or not sustainable. There is nothing abstract about it. It's in the real world, happening here and now. Similarly, how do we move in cities? All of us know that our cities are about agglomeration. People come together of different kinds, of different talents, of different opportunities. And when they come together, they make what is called an enterprise come together, which creates sort of a labor market or a business. And that actually, drives economic growth, as well as that fundamentally, because it gives you incomes, drives your own personal growth as well. This is why cities happen. But then cities start to get congested, and congestion is not only in the terms of traffic. Congestion could be in the terms of, for example, crime. If a city has a lot of crime, that is a congestion which stops agglomeration from happening. It could be in the form of pandemics. We've seen a pandemic called COVID very recently. There have been 5 pandemics in this century already. Let's not forget that. This was the 5th one. And pandemics then, come as a sort of a limiting factor in agglomeration of cities. Then traffic is another big example. If we continue the path that we are going on, it's not sustainable. Number one, in climate terms, it's not sustainable in geopolitical terms. 80% of the fossil fuel that India imports is used for transportation. So clearly, 80% of the fuel used for transportation is what India imports. So clearly, it's unsustainable for your country's geopolitical significance. It's unsustainable for climate, and it's unsustainable for cities, because your cities become chaotic. There are accidents. India is the #1 country as far as road accidents are concerned, and so many different problems are. For example, just the other day we had a talk from the Dutch couple on cycling cities, and see the book they have written about curbing traffic, and you see the examples that they bring out, and so vividly you can relate to those examples. My kid here in Delhi goes to school by car. Now, I come to office by bike, but my kid goes by car, and I cannot fathom, and you cannot fathom, the different kinds of impressions it has on the child's mind. Number one, he doesn't connect to the city. He may not know the landmarks he has crossed, because all the time he's inside a metal container called a car. And then also he doesn't connect to people outside. So his social empathy skills are low. His ability to link to his outside world, which is where, a lot of good positive energy comes in, is low. And then so they're micro, the worldview becomes micro. And imagine a child going through all that and then becoming an adult, and the kind of impact he or she is supposed to have on society. There's fundamental changes that come to us because of the way we live in our cities. So walking and cycling and creating cities where the public realm is happy, a place to go for, people like it, they want to walk, they want to cycle, they want to be active, it's good for your health, it prevents you from so many diseases. Today's diseases are not the communicable diseases of the past. We don't very much die of cholera and typhoids. These days, people die of high BP, diabetes, heart attacks, cancer, and most of these have instrumentalities in actually having a non-active life. And we have to just see how much we have around us. You go 20 steps this side, you have an elevator waiting for you. You go that side, some car is waiting for you. You go some other place, some person is waiting for you. You don't have to walk, you don't have to cycle. Then you end up being what is an unhealthy individual. So if we want to contribute to the world around us, if we want to be happy ourselves and want a happy citizenry, if we want to contribute to the larger goals of the planet, which is about sustainability, which is about positive climate influence, then as city leaders, it is a no-brainer that we should adopt walking and cycling as fundamental to the way our cities function. And with that goal in mind, and this great historic occasion of 75th year of our country's independence, we said let's start on a different note and experience what it means to say what we say. Practice what you preach, or be the change that you want to see. Look, we say we want to build cycling cities, build a cycle track, paint it green, paint it red. Do cyclists come over there? No. Why don't they come over there? Why are our cities investing in cycle tracks but not finding cyclists? Why are BRT lanes being created but they don't find buses? Why do people find it unsafe or insecure to use cycle tracks? Now, these are fundamental questions that you should be grappling with. And the best way to find answers is to actually go there, try it out yourself, find out what I can now in Delhi, pinpoint about 20-25 different things I face every day when I come to office by cycle and go back home, which you would not intuitively ever understand. How police barricades function, how traffic lights are a very big hindrance to cyclists, because there all other cars are on four wheels, they can stop, but how does a cyclist stop in the middle of the road? And how does he kickstart again? Because when the traffic light just goes on green, all the cars are rushing ahead, and where does a cyclist move? So there are multiple different things you will never understand unless you cycle yourself. It's very easy to say that we should want our citizens to cycle. We have created a green or red cycling track. It's very difficult to get people to cycle, because you will find that, and you will find the reasons for that only when you start to do it yourself. It's difficult. I admit to the point. It's not easy for everyone, but leadership has never been an easy game. And if we have to be leaders, we have to do things ourselves. And therefore, we started this whole campaign. And what has come out of this is miraculous. And I think it set the tone for the entire year of the kind of work that we can expect under the Smart Cities mission, personally driven by champion leaders who have set the tone, who have not only taken on the task themselves, but I think they have, for all purposes, told their staff, cycle, walk, and run. That's your mandate for January. No, it's good, but I think that should not be mandate for January. That should be mandate forever, not in the kilometers that they've done in January. Otherwise, they will vanish from Earth. But at least, keep doing it in some bit. And I think from now on, even though we don't have a challenge, we don't call it a challenge. I think all of us should maximize the number of people we can influence to come on the road to walk and cycle. It's a chicken and egg problem, or a plant and seed problem if you're a vegetarian. Because what comes first? There has to be a certain number of people on road to demand a certain option. Because there are so many cars on road, they can demand road widening, they can demand flyovers, they can demand all kinds of things. But there are not enough cyclists to demand cycle tracks, safety on road, and so on and so forth. So let's start that movement. Let's get a certain volume of cyclists on the ground. Let me inspire 10 people, those 10 inspire 10 people, let your staff inspire 10 people, and let's see this movement grow so that we have enough number of cyclists on the road who can then take on the mantle of working as a sort of a pressure group. It's not about cars versus cycle. It's also about putting forth the fundamental arguments from the user's point of view. It's not about an expert's point of view, someone expert in cycling coming from the country of Netherlands, and saying that this should happen, or a volume of cyclists within our city coming out and saying, look, this is what we face and this is what should change. That will have more impact. That is, so one of the things that we all are going to do, the champions that are going to be celebrated today are going to do, is that we would actually come together and create a charter for the country. That's one of the things I think Ashwati will put forward. We will create a charter. We will all work together, because we have demonstrated, you have demonstrated the leadership. we will ask you to come together and orchestrate a methodology of creating a charter for how cycling can be promoted in our cities. We would like all city leaders in this call, everyone, and everyone is a city leader. Even if you are a engineer in a particular ward, you are a leader of that ward. It's a big entity. Some countries have counties of the size of wards in our country. For example, Sweden is a country of 1 crore people, which is like 2 Punes. So a kind of volume of people you influence is huge. Everyone is a leader. How you can, in your own respective spheres, make that change to get people to adopt active ways of living and stuff. So one is that maximize the number of people. How do we come together to create a charter? How do we influence entire business of improving walking and cycling in cities? And of course, we are also looking at a get together very soon where all the champions will be brought together. We'll get some other global champions that India has prepared to come together and talk to them, and then we work together to see how we can take this agenda forward and so on. So there's a lot to be done. I think everyone is getting anxious to hear their names, so I'm standing in between. I just wanted to see if I have missed out something, but no, nothing. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining on this call, and a personal thanks and a thanks from the mission director for having taken up this challenge in such high spirit and having done so well with it. You have not only made the mission proud, of course, you've made yourself, your city proud, you've made the mission proud, but I have full confidence you'll make the country proud going forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for those wonderful words and setting an inspiring ambition for our cities. Our challenges have been an inspiration to cities worldwide, and we hope they continue to do so in the future too. Now, we have a video message from Heather Thompson, CEO of the Institute for Transportation and Development Policy, on how our cities have paved the way for a sustainable future.
Hello all, my name is Heather Thompson, and I am the CEO of the Institute for Transportation and Development Policy. I am coming to you from our headquarters in the United States, where I have been watching from afar the events unfold in India these past months, as many cities have taken part in the Cycles for Change, Streets for People, and more recently, the Transport for All challenges. Across the world, our colleagues at ITDP and our partner organizations have been so very impressed at how you have found a bright spot during these challenging pandemic times to turn your cities into places that put the health and well-being of people at the center. I am happy to be here with you today to take part as you celebrate the successes of the Freedom to Walk and Cycle challenges. It has been so very impressive to see how the 100 smart cities have actively hosted over 220 events to promote walking and cycling, ranging from activities to empower women and children to walk and cycle, to bringing more pedestrians and cyclists to the streets, to testing temporary interventions like creating safe cycle lanes and safe and healthy street days. It is campaigns like these that help instill long-term behavior change in citizens to take up walking and cycling as daily habits to not only get from A to B, but also to further their health and well-being. It has been especially inspiring to see photos and videos of city leaders who have started to embrace walking and cycling. Nearly 130 city leaders clocked in about 47,000 kilometers of cycling, 7,000 kilometers of walking, and 2,500 kilometers of running during the 26 days of the challenge. These leaders should be so very proud of becoming champions in their cities. It is rightly said that a true leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. I would like to congratulate all the citizens and city leaders who actively participated in the challenge. I urge all of you to sustain this momentum by institutionalizing initiatives like this and taking up walking, cycling, and public transportations in your daily routines. Through the India Cycles for Change, Streets for People, and Transport for All challenges, cities have adopted a new mantra of engaging with citizens, crowdsourcing ideas, and testing innovative, inexpensive, and quick solutions to create walking and cycling friendly streets, as well as to improve their public transportation. I wish all the cities the very best as they work towards the 2023 goals for the challenges. It has been a tremendous learning experience for us at ITDP to be the knowledge partner for these challenges, to support cities, and in turn to learn from you. These trends are ones that we see in pioneering cities across the world, as together we redefine what healthy and sustainable cities of the future look like. We will continue to look on to you for more inspiration in the year to come and share that with cities around the world. I wish you the very best as you continue your celebration today.
Thank you so much, Heather, for sharing your encouraging words with us. I would now like to invite Ashwati Dilip, South Asia Director of Institute for Transportation and Development Policy, to showcase the journey of the Freedom to Walk and Cycle challenges and set the excitement for the award ceremony. Over to you, Ashwati.
Thank you so much, Aishwarya. So it's been an exhilarating journey for us over the last 3 months as we conceptualized the idea for season 2 of Freedom to Walk and Cycle challenges. As Kunal sir rightly said, I'm sure that everyone is waiting for the awards, but because we do have our media friends who are joining in today as well, and to share with them what our journey has been, I'm going to take about 5 minutes of your time. So diving straight in, the Freedom to Walk and Cycle Challenge was first conceived in October 2021, the season 1 as a part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Here, as we heard, 220 events were planned by cities across the country, varying from night rallies for women to temporary initiatives which cities had hosted. But as the new year dawned, a new idea also was born in our minds. As Kunal sir mentioned, it takes 21 days to build a habit, and we said, why not encourage our citizens and city leaders to embrace a healthy lifestyle through a 26-day New Year challenge? And here, with the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, we launched 2 one-of-a-kind challenges: Freedom to Walk and Cycle, City Leaders Challenge, and Intercity Challenge. The City Leaders Challenge and the Intercity Challenge focused on 3 major activities. They focused on walk, cycle, and run. In the 26 days of the challenge, there was a wide-scale impact that we saw in our cities. Over 12 lakh kilometers were walked, cycled, and ran. And if you can imagine, it is almost like doing 50 loops around the country, from Kanyakumari to Kohima to Srinagar to Rajkot and back to Kanyakumari. It's a challenge that we'll definitely remember. So you might have the question as, where is all of this data coming? And of course, this challenge was heavily invested in data. The city leaders and citizens, as a first step, registered using a link created for their city. The participants joined walk, cycle, run clubs for the City Leaders Challenge, and the citizens logged on to Decathlon All for Sport platforms. Each city leader and citizen, they tracked their activity on Strava across the 26 days, while at the back end, we monitored this data, analyzed this data, and now we are here with the awards. So just to add a little more details into the challenges. So in the first phase, we focused a lot on cyclothons, walkathons, marathons as a part of our season 1 of the challenge. But in season 2, we thought it would be a great idea to bring together our citizens as one nation. We had a whopping 22,000 citizens who registered for this particular challenge. While citizens took their first step, we did believe that it was equally important for us to have our city leaders, each one of you, to do the same and pave the way for a greener tomorrow. As we heard, a leader is the one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. So the aim of this challenge was to nudge city leaders to embrace more walking, cycling, and running, but also, as Kunal sir mentioned in his welcome address, experience the challenges of pedestrians and cyclists as they use the infrastructure that we are creating in our cities. We've long heard of international leaders being an inspiration for us, from the Prime Minister of United Kingdom to the Mayor of Paris. But today, our leaders are now an inspiration worldwide. From Kunal sir and Rahul sir at the mission, to the health minister in Tamil Nadu, to city officials. There were 127 city leaders who really stood up and shone from 46 cities across our entire country. WhatsApp groups were created with the city leaders to keep the momentum going, and there were leaderboards that were shared regularly to know where we were doing. And it was heartening to hear inspiring stories from each one of them, inspiring each one of us every day to move ahead in this particular challenge. From Pallavi Bhagat and Padmini Singh to Sanjay Yadav and Rupesh Agarwal, there were so many stories that continue to keep the momentum going. Now, as our city leaders and citizens embraced this challenge and built a habit over the last 26 years, that's not where our challenge ends. Our city leaders are now signing pledges to show long-term commitment to these initiatives. 20 cities have signed pledges where they are sharing tangible initiatives that they will be embracing from this year onwards. While, as Kunal sir said, this is just the beginning. We have much more lined up for you. We look forward to welcoming all of you in person for a Freedom to Walk and Cycle retreat, where together we'll create the walking and cycling charter for the country. There is a nationwide cycling expedition, which is also planned by our city leaders, and more updates on this will be shared shortly. Let's continue to revolutionize walking, cycling, and running to create healthier, fitter, and happier India. This challenge would not have happened if not for the minds that were behind this challenge. And I'd just like to take a minute to thank them. Kunal sir and Rahul sir, we can't thank you enough for coming up with this wonderful idea. Secondly, Sampath and Akriti, considering that this was the first time that we were doing a data-based challenge, there were so many hitches, and thank you for being our backdrop for us to think about what are the different challenges and how do we resolve them. A big shout out for the coordinating team, Bala, Angi, Smritika, and Venu, who coordinated with the cities, and the communications team, Suvi, Srividya, Aishwarya, and Kishmira, who made sure that our stories were shared across the world. Thank you so much. This is just the beginning, and I'm excited to think about what this year and the next year holds for all of us. Thank you so much.
The journey of this one-of-a-kind challenge has been nothing short of inspiring. Thank you so much, Ashwati, for setting the energy right with that amazing speech. Now, we have a short video to capture this wonderful experience. So let's have a look.
Would you have imagined your city leaders and citizens come together for a month-long walk, run and cycle challenge?
Freedom to Walk and Cycle did just that. Building on the success of India Cycles for Change and Streets for People Challenge, the Government of India launched two unique initiatives: Freedom to Walk and Cycle Challenge for city leaders and for citizens for a healthy, fit and happy India.
Kickstarting the new year, 300 city leaders from over 60 cities signed up for the challenge and recorded their daily walk, run and cycle activity on the Strava app. Leading by example, they not only inspired the nation to get active, but also spread awareness about the benefits of walking and cycling. Starting off their mornings on their feet and pedals, they felt happier and more productive throughout the day. Some even witnessed a drastic reduction in weight. They inspired one another to make a conscious shift from using cars to cycle to work or even for their site visits. City leaders experienced streets like any other pedestrian or cyclist and got a first-hand experience understanding the issues they faced. This experience has translated into a commitment for change. Cities like Ajmer, Nagpur, Surat, Rajkot, Jabalpur and so many more have signed a pledge to improving walking and cycling conditions in their city and endorsed programs like Pedestrians Day, Cycle to Work and open street events. Their commitment to the challenge is real. We also witnessed an IAS officer with visual impairment cycling to his office. We congratulate all the city leaders who came together, walked, ran, and cycled 56,000 kilometers over 4,200 hours.
You should also have a lifestyle which is more environment friendly. So you should also commute to work by cycles, and I request you to use more and more bicycles to go to your offices and shops.
We commit to keep up our activities to enforce a major change in the mindset and so that the society accepts cycling as a major mode of transit.
में हर ट्यूसडे को पैडल टू वर्क कैंपेन चलाते हैं.
Inspired by the city leaders, more than 21,000 citizens across the country, women, men, young and old started walking, cycling and running, building healthy habits towards a healthy lifestyle. Together, they clocked over 11 lakh kilometers, and that is equivalent to over 50 loops around India.
साल की शुरुआत कीजिए, इस आदत को पाल करके आपकी जिंदगी बदल जाएगी.
Through the Freedom to Walk and Cycle challenge, city leaders and citizens have embraced walking and cycling in their daily lives, and we hope that this leads to a bigger, permanent transformation in our cities where walking and cycling is safe and fun for everyone. The challenge has ended, but let's not stop. Let's continue the momentum. Pick up that cycle, get your walking shoes, and let's get moving together. Let's revolutionize streets in India.
Without further ado, the most exciting part of today's evening is here. The award ceremony for the Freedom to Walk and Cycle challenges. We have identified many categories of awards to recognize all the champions who've made this a grand success. We also have a few city leaders joining today as panelists to share their experience on the Freedom to Walk and Cycle challenges, and also a sneak peek of what their city has planned to ensure that pedestrians and cyclists have safe and convenient facilities. I'd like to now welcome Mr. Kunal Kumar to say a few words and to announce the winners of this challenge through a video.
Well, I think let's go ahead with the video. And one of the things I would like to say is that of all the names that Ashwati mentioned, her name was not there. And I think we all, should give her a round of applause for the kind of work that she has put together. She just started leading ITDP in the country, and she has done fantastically well to put together not only the challenge but also this event. So good, and so thank you for that leadership. And well, I don't want to come in between. Go ahead with the video. Let's see what's there in store. Thank you.
The first category of awards for the City Leaders Challenge. Cities with the maximum kilometers. The top 5 cities in cycling are Indore, Ajmer, Pimpri Chinchwad, Jabalpur and Jaipur. Other frontrunner cities in this category are the top 5 cities in walking are Kalyan Dombivli, Davanagari, Nashik, Ranchi and Chandigarh. Other frontrunner cities in this category are the top 5 cities in running are Kota, Chennai, Rajkot, Valsad and Nashik. Other frontrunner cities in this category are
the second category of awards for the City Leaders Challenge. City leaders with maximum kilometers. The top 5 city leaders in cycling are Ravi Rao, Jabalpur, Rahul Shruti, Indore, Vivek Kanvasia, Indore, Sunil Pawar, Pimpri Chinchwad, Bapu Gaikwad, Pimpri Chinchwad. Other frontrunner city leaders in this category are the top 5 city leaders in walking are Rakesh Kumar, Ranchi, Sumant More, Nashik. Satish Malatesh, Davangere. Basavaraje Gowda, Tumakuru. Krishan Pal Singh, Chandigarh. Other frontrunner city leaders in this category are the top 5 city leaders in running are Sanjeev Saxena, Kota. Paras Jain, Kota. Ma Subramanian, Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Pravin Gajera, Rajkot. Kalpesh Joshi, Valsad. Other frontrunner city leaders in this category are
a hearty congratulations to all the winners of these categories. I'd like to now welcome Mr. Neelkant Poman, Joint CEO of Pimpri Chinchwad, and Rakesh Kumar Nandkyalar, GM Technical from Ranchi. We request all panelists to keep your points short, crisp, and within 2 minutes. We also request the audience to drop in your questions for the panelists in the Q&A box with your name and city. Mr. Neelkant Poman, if you could begin with your points, please.
Aishwarya, this is Venu here. We'll be checking with the Pimpri Chinchwad team meanwhile. If we can go to Mr. Rakesh from Ranchi, who's on the call already.
Sure.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Pimpri Chinchwad Municipal Corporation and Pimpri Chinchwad Smart City, I would like to thank the Government of India, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs for the Smart City mission to giving us the opportunity to participate in the Freedom to Walk and Cycling challenges. From Pimpri Chinchwad, total 5 leaders participated in the challenges. Out of these 3 leaders participated in cycling, and they are the winners of this day, and 2 are walking challenges. It was an overwhelming experience which helped spread awareness about staying fit and maintaining good health through walking and cycling on a daily basis. So challenges like this helps in developing a positive attitude and increasing adoption of utilization non-motorized transport modes in our day-to-day activities. Our cycling teams stage in Goa for local cycling for these 1 week. So they have been covered 3,000 kilometers from 1st of January to 26th of January. It has also given our leaders the participation that how the non-motorized transport infrastructure and overall street infrastructure should be further developed and improved, which helps to construct an obstruction-free path for the walkers and cycling in the city. And we have got opportunity, Kunal Kumar sir visited to our city. They have participated with our team for cycling, and they have given encouragement with our city leaders. Once again, I would like to thank the Government of Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs for Smart Mission for the opportunities. Look forward in upcoming challenges to the participants. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Neelkant. I may request Mr. Rakesh Kumar to share his words, please.
Good evening and welcome to all. On behalf of Ranchi Smart City Corporation, I am overwhelmed by the result just announced, in which I got the first position in walking. So walking, I have in my habit since my college days. And I used to walk daily in the morning and also in the evening. But the quantum of walk which we have undertaken during this 26 days was amazing and very encouraging. And to encourage this walking, we have already encouraged the officials of Ranchi Smart City Corporation, as well as all the other government officials. Also the neighbors of myself, we have encouraged, because it is a very good for health, and walking is the best exercise for any human being, and it is very useful and it is very easy. And to encourage this, we have in Smart City Mission ABD area, which we are developing a greenfield project. We have provided a 21-kilometer road network, and in which all the road have footpath and cycle track to encourage everybody to take part and have a greener and a good environment and atmosphere to walk. Thank you. Thank you, Smart City Mission, for this amazing event. Thank you.
Congratulations, sir. Now we move on to the next category of awards.
The third category of awards for the City Leaders Challenge. Women City Leaders with Maximum Kilometers. The top 5 women city leaders in cycling are Padmini Singh, Ajmer; Manisha Agarwal, Indore; Aishwarya Kadam, Nashik; Freni Modi, Surat; and Bhairavi Joshi, Valsad. The top 5 women city leaders in walking are Pallavi Bhagwat, Kalyan Dombivli; Bhairavi Joshi, Valsad; Manisha Agarwal, Indore; Prerna Kumari Patel, Gandhinagar; and Kamakshi Dhawan, Shimla. The top 5 women city leaders in running are Aishwarya Kadam, Nashik; Bhairavi Joshi, Valsad.
The fourth category of awards for the City Leaders Challenge. City leaders with maximum time spent in activities. The top 5 city leaders in cycling are Rahul Shruti, Indore; Ravi Rao, Jabalpur; Vivek Kanvasia, Indore; Sunil Pawar, Pimpri Chinchwad; Bapu Gaikwad, Pimpri Chinchwad. The top 5 city leaders in walking are Satish Malatesh, Davangere; Rakesh Kumar, Ranchi; Sumant More, Nashik; Krishan Pal Singh, Chandigarh; Pallavi Bhagwat, Kalyan Dombivli. The top 5 city leaders in running are Sanjeev Saxena, Kota; Paras Jain, Kota; Ma Subramanian, Chennai, Tamil Nadu; Pravin Gajera, Rajkot; Kalpesh Joshi, Valsad.
Congratulations to the winners. I now invite Ms. Padmini Singh, Chief Account Officer from Ajmer, and Mr. Sambhav Ayachi, Assistant Commissioner, Jabalpur, to share their words. Ms. Padmini, over to you.
Good evening, everyone. You made my day because I topped the category of women in cycling. Thank you so much. Respected JS sir, Director sir, all the eminent members of ITTP and MOUD, and all the eminent leaders who participated in Freedom2Walk&Cycle challenge. The experience of cycling for 26 days continuously was fabulous, fantastic, and breathtaking, of course, because not only cycling is an amazing physical workout as it increases your cardiovascular endurance, but it's also a mental workout. It's a workout for mind, because you have to judge while you cycle and your speed, the roads. You also need to have a particular routine every day. So, what Kunal sir just said a few minutes back, that one enjoys the view and gets connected to the city. The key benefit for me was I lost 4 kgs of weight, and I took up something back again, which most importantly, I left in early teens. So this was the best part of the event for me. Also, the best part of this event, participating from Ajmer, was that it was very cold over here, and we cycled in the coldest part of the year. And the inspiration was seeing our district collector, who was also the CEO of Smart City Ajmer, getting up early in the morning, and besides his busy routine, he used to cycle 3 hours every day. That was the inspiration, and looking to that, we started early morning between 4 to 6. And the enthusiasm to win this competition was so much that we even cycled in the winter rain. So it was a great adventure. We even came to know our capacity as a team every day. And we used to cycle and share our rides. And I used to wait for the kudos and see my name on the leaderboard, particularly. This challenge even taught us how we can bring the commitment of our team and the citizens of our city by creating a competitive challenge. And through such events, we also got to know other people of other smart cities, the leaders also. The steps which our city is taking, Ajmer particularly is taking to promote cycling, is that ASTL has developed a cycling track around the city lake, that is Ana Sagar. We even have a walked pathway around the lake. We've made cycling clubs, and we've made an active group of cyclists who cycle regularly. We have a happy Thursday for cycle to office, and the city administration is also planning to develop a cycle hiring and a cycle parking infrastructure. We are also planning to make a permanent team to outreach and organize regular cycling events, and also offer cycling confidence lessons to people who do not cycle or are scared to cycle. What my personal idea is that we have the one-way concept. So we can even develop the concept of cycling hour or walking hour on the busy roads, which even have an alternate road. So causing less inconvenience to the citizens indeed. So that is my experience, and thank you once again for giving me this award. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much to the entire team.
Congratulations, Ms. Padmini, and thank you for those very, very encouraging words. Mr. Sambhav, over to you.
Hello everyone, this is Sambhav, Assistant Commissioner from Jabalpur. Along with me, I have my entire team which participated in Freedom2Walk&Cycle campaign. Also, a special mentionee, which is Mr. Ravi Rao, who got first prize in cycling competition. He's also along with me from Jabalpur. So basically, Jabalpur has always been enthusiastic, very enthusiastic in all the challenges which are being run by Mahua, and particularly this Freedom2Walk&Cycle campaign. Jabalpur was like, I think, one of the unique cities where all our 5 city members were city officials only. So it was like of a much bigger challenge for us, because we have to take our day-to-day, because we have to take out a much bigger part of our day for these particular activities. But the best point in this particular challenge was we got to know our city from bicycling point of view. I mean to say, like, we actually travel, commute to our offices or other places through motorized means of transport. But through this particular Freedom2Walk&Cycle campaign, we got to know our city and the pain points which actually citizens face while cycling in our city from bicycling point of view. This was a much better learning experience for us, and as a city leader, we always believe in, like, what we are experiencing, we want to implement it in our city policies. We want to improvise those particular pain points and to find their solutions into our city policies. Also, Jabalpur also has a very good cycling infrastructure. We have dedicated NMT corridors, we have dedicated cycle tracks and other things. And like my colleague Padmini ma'am has also mentioned that we also similarly we also daily checked our leaderboards and scoreboards and waited for kudos from Joint Secretary sir and other eminent members from ITDP. So it was a very good campaign for all of us, and we are also really thankful to ITDP team for providing us constant support during this particular campaign. Also, as JS sir mentioned, that we are also looking forward for national cycling expedition or city to city connecting cycling rides. So we are really excited for such kind of activities, and we will be always eager to participate in such kind of events which are being launched by Mahua. Thank you from Jabalpur.
Thank you, Mr. Sambhav, and it's heartening to see the kind of enthusiasm that you have. A lot of people are getting restless, and we have many categories left. So over to the next awards.
The fifth category of awards for the City Leaders Challenge. City leaders with maximum activities in walk, cycle and run. The top 5 city leaders in cycling are Rahul Shouty, Indore; Sid Bhatnagar, Ajmer; Ajay Sindhu, Jaipur; Padmini Singh, Ajmer; and Vivek Kanvasia, Indore. The top 5 city leaders in walking are Krishan Pal Singh, Chandigarh; Satish Malatish, Davanagari; Pallavi Bhagwat, Kalyan Dombivli; Rakesh Kumar, Ranchi; and Sumant More, Nashik. The top 5 city leaders in running are Sanjeev Saxena, Kota; Paras Jain, Kota; Ma Subramanian, Chennai, Tamil Nadu; Nikhil Bhoyer, Nashik; and Praveen Gajera, Rajkot.
The sixth category of awards for the City Leaders Challenge. City leaders with maximum activities across walk, cycle and run. The top 5 city leaders in this category are Krishan Pal Singh, Chandigarh; Satish Malatesh, Davangere; Rahul Shruti, Indore; Sid Bhatnagar, Ajmer; Ajay Sindhu, Jaipur.
The seventh category of awards for the City Leaders Challenge. Ministers, smart city CEOs and commissioners with maximum kilometers. The top 5 city leaders in cycling are Devendra Kumar, Ajmer; Akshay Godara, Ajmer; Prakash Raj Purohit, Ajmer; Rishabh Gupta, Indore; and Neelap Saxena, Udaipur and Rajsmand. The top 5 city leaders in walking are Sumant More, Nashik; Ravindra Malapur, Davanagari; Sanjay Kolte, Pune; Vijay Suryavanshi, Kalyan Dombivli; and Gagandeep Singh Bedi, Chennai. The top 5 city leaders in running are Ma Subramaniam, Chennai, Tamil Nadu; Chetan Nandani, Rajkot; and Avdish Meena, Jaipur.
The 8th award for the City Leaders Challenge. Superhero Award for being a true champion, breaking all barriers and embracing cycling. Rupesh Agarwal, Chandigarh.
A hearty congratulations to all the winners. We now have Manisha Agarwal, Account Officer from Indore, and Bhairavi Joshi, Cycling Champion from Valsad, CEO and Director of Bikes India, to share their experiences with us. Over to you, Ms. Manisha. Kindly switch on your video.
Aishwarya, do you want to start with Bhairavi?
Yes.
And then?
Ms. Bhairavi, over to you.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Thank you. First of all, congratulations to everyone who won the awards. And I really thank Ministry and ITDP team for inviting me over here It gives me so much pleasure to share about my city as a city leader, even though I'm not a government official. The journey, which really started with Cycles for Change and Streets for People, had been very exciting, challenging, full of learnings, experimenting, exploring, enjoying small and big wins, and above all, giving a commitment to ourselves to do as much as possible to make our cities healthy, happy, safe, and livable. Thanks to the ministry for initiating Freedom to Walk and Cycle Challenge. The campaign was intended to get more pedestrian and cyclists on the streets and change everyday behavior of citizens. It gave an opportunity to engage with citizens and influencers of society. Citizens became aware of what the city wants to do for them. The concept of signing the pledge was remarkable as it made the city officials more responsible towards thinking on those agendas which were never a priority. Talking about Valsad, which is a small city in South Gujarat, small cities have ample opportunities and less challenges, and we have started capitalizing on a small size. It took time to bring everyone on the same platform to think exactly the same way how a city should be. But the challenge really helped our city to channelize everything. The city authorities initiated a pledge campaign. The collector, ma'am of the city and various other city officials, they signed a pledge to create a city that is livable, resilient, and safe. And the initiatives which are planned for our city are that henceforth on June 5th will be celebrated as Pedestrian Day in Valsad. Valsad will host various activities on June 3rd as a part of World Bicycle Day. To improve physical infrastructure, one street is going to be transformed with safe and accessible infrastructure for walking and cycling. Intersection is going to be improved with road safety. One neighborhood is going to be developed with continuous walk and cycling networks. Pre-street placemaking interventions are going to be tested. To provide citizens with a healthy, happy, and car-free street experience, one location is going to be closed for motorized traffic once every month, and an open street event is going to be hosted there. We're going to have various community engagement initiatives, and we're going to bring about a long-term behavioral change in citizens. Valsad collector has announced first Saturday of every month as Cycle to Work and Walk to Work Day for government officials and citizens. We're shortly going to have a city-wide bike share system and bicycle parking network across the city. Signages across the city to educate people to respect people on cycle and foot. I again thank the ministry for initiating such challenges. And we at Bikes believe that cycling is not just a means of transportation, but a means of transformation for an individual, city, or a nation. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ashwati, and thank you, ITDP team and ministry.
We now invite Mr. Rupesh Agarwal, Additional Commissioner for Chandigarh, to share his wise words.
Very good evening to one and all. First of all, congrats to each and everyone who participated in this challenge. I must say that this challenge has a unique one in itself, wherein we tried our level best to participate and try to transform from these traditional orthodox method of going to offices by these cars and these two-wheelers. And it is not reducing the pollution, but it is somewhere making us to feel the environment around us. Being in Chandigarh, I must say that Chandigarh is having a dedicated cycle path where you can cycle well. And I hope that across India, such facilities are available. And being using the twin cycle, I must say that is when I'm coming to office on daily basis these days, people are really motivated that they want to have these cycles with them because it is helping them to bond together also. When you are doing some activity together, like a couple, brother, sister, siblings, and parents, they are going with their kids, and people we are thinking to introduce these cycles in the public bike sharing system also. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rupesh. Your story is nothing short of inspiring. You're truly a superhero. We now move to the last set of award categories.
We now move to the awards for the Intercity Challenge for Citizens. The first category of awards for the Intercity Challenge. Cities with the maximum kilometers. The top 5 cities in cycling are Chennai, Faridabad, Bihar Sharif, New Delhi, Satna. Other frontrunner cities in this category are the top 5 cities in walking are Ajmer, Chennai, Chandigarh, Jaipur, Belagavi. Other frontrunner cities in this category are the top 5 cities in running are Rajkot, Vadodara, Chandigarh, Bhopal, Ahmedabad. Other frontrunner cities in this category are
The second category of awards for the Intercity Challenge. Cities with the maximum registrations. The top 5 cities in cycling are Chennai, Chandigarh, Ajmer, Rajkot and Faridabad. Other frontrunner cities in this category are the top 5 cities in walking are Ajmer, Chandigarh, Belagavi, Jaipur and Chennai. Other frontrunner cities in this category are the top 5 cities in running are Ujjain, Dharamshala, Vadodara, Rajkot and Guwahati. Other frontrunner cities in this category are
Congratulations to all the participants and winners for being champions for walking, cycling and running in your cities and for making these challenges a grand success.
A big congratulations to all the cities that won today. The next 2 panelists were unable to join us today, but we do have a short video of them sharing their experience. We first have a video from Mr. Ma Subramaniam, Tamil Nadu Health Minister.
Good evening to all. I am Ma Subramanian, the Minister for Medical and Family Welfare of Tamil Nadu. In 1995, I was diagnosed with diabetics. In 2004, I met with an accident and the doctor told me I would never be able to run or sit on the floor. I took part in my first marathon in Pondicherry, Aeroville in 2014. I have participated in 133 marathons so far and have entered the Indian Book of Records, Asia Book of Records and World Records book and most number of marathons run by a person on my age and also receive honorary doctorate. 1st of January to 26th of January, I have completed 390 kilometers in Freedom Run Challenge. And for all this, I would like to thank the team which organized the entire event. Thank you.
We now have Mr. Vijay S., Commissioner from Kalyan and Dombivli, sharing his message.
Good evening, sirs and colleagues. Kalyan Dombivli Municipal Corporation participated in Freedom2Walk Challenge. Under my leadership, other team members were our Additional Commissioner Sri Sunil Pawar, our Chief Accounts and Finance Officer Sri Ubale, our Corporation Secretary Sri Sanjay Jadhav, and Deputy Municipal Commissioner Mrs. Pallavi Bhagwat. During these 26 days, we walked around in different parts of the city, involved citizens in the Freedom2Walk Challenge, and citizens participated in huge numbers. Running groups and cycling groups also participated in this challenge, and in these 26 days of challenge, it evoked a lot of enthusiasm amongst citizens of the city. Many citizens who cycled and walked and ran during these 26 days, they appreciated the problems of their fellow citizens, and this created a lot of awakening of civic sense in the citizens of the city. Award generally evoke a lot of sense of pride amongst the citizens, and we are eagerly waiting for that. We've also dedicated 4 roads now during 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. which will be only for walking and cycling. These 26 days of enthusiasm, excitement have been very fruitful even for our own personal health. We thank Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs and the Smart Cities mission led by Kunal Kumar sir and all his team members for giving us this wonderful opportunity and participating in the award ceremony. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Mr. Ma Subramaniam and Vijay S. for sharing your messages. Again, a very, very hearty congratulations to all the champions. You've all led by example and inspired so many people, not just within our country, but all over the world. Share this success with your citizens. Let the world know. The coordinating team will be sharing a deck with you so you can amplify this message. And thank you all the panelists for sharing your wonderful words of inspiration. We were only able to invite a few city leaders today, but we know that many others on this call have inspiring stories to share. I'm sure many of us in this audience will learn from you all and be part of this journey together. I'd now like to invite Vaishali Singh, Deputy Manager, Transport Systems and Electric Mobility, to share some insights into how our cities can achieve this and work towards an ambitious goal for 2023. Over to you, Vaishali.
Thank you so much, Aishwarya. And again, big congratulations to all of our cities, city leaders and citizens for such an astounding performance in the Freedom to Walk and Cycle. It's really commendable what all of you have achieved together. And all of this started in 2020 when India kickstarted a walking, cycling, and public transport revolution through the 3 challenges, which are cycles for change, streets for people, and transport for all. And the participation that all of these cities have given to these challenges is just amazing. Over 100 cities have been participating, and what they have been able to achieve through these challenges is even more applaudable. So over the last 1.5 years, more than 35 cities have tested quick and low-cost interventions to promote walking and cycling, transforming more than 4,000 kilometers of streets. Not just that, all of these cities have truly embraced the idea of collaboration, and more than 40 cities crowdsourced design solutions through city-led design competitions, and also worked with more than 2,000 planners, architects, and students through design competitions. Cities also went ahead and listened to what the problems are of the citizens and identified what the key barriers are for pedestrians and cyclists, and then created solutions around it. And also listened to their feedback through open street events. 50+ cities also conducted stakeholder activities around it and collaborated with local champions and NGOs to make that change happen. It's amazing that more than 600 NGOs signed up for these challenges across the country to support these cities with the initiatives. And not just with walking and cycling, more than 43 cities actually conducted perception surveys with citizens, bus drivers and conductors, and IPT drivers to understand what the key concerns are with public transportation so that they can create a solution towards it. Overall, surveying around 3 lakh citizens and drivers and conductors as well. And the collaboration was just not with the citizens and the leaders and the NGOs, but cities actually went ahead. Around 99 cities formed a Transport for All task force that brought together people from different agencies related to transportation, bringing all of them together for quick and effective decision making. And through all of these initiatives, cities have been able to reimagine urban mobility with citizens, by citizens, and for citizens. But now it's time for a long-term permanent change. A lot of cities have taken up a lot of initiatives so far in the last 1.5 years, testing a lot of interventions which work for them. But now it's time to make those interventions permanent so that our walking, cycling, and public transportation is safe and comfortable for everyone going ahead. And a lot of cities have actually started taking initiative in that action. More than 15 cities have already signed the Freedom to Walk and Cycle pledge, pledging that they would make walking and cycling safe and comfortable for everyone in the city. Not just that, more than 39 cities are already initiating scale up of their pilot interventions in stage 2 of Cycles for Change and Streets for People challenge to make sure that they become permanent. And in case one of your city is not among the 25 cities who have registered for the challenge, do go ahead, sign up for the challenges so that you can make that long-term change in your city as well. In public transportation as well, around 43 cities are working towards resolving the public transport issues through stage 2 of the Transport for All challenge. And now it's time for all of these initiatives to come together to promote sustainable mobility together. It's time for cities to think big, do big, and achieve the 2023 vision and goals, which are healthy streets, healthy cities, and happy lives. The healthy streets and healthy cities is based on 10 very simple pillars through which cities can make sure that they make their cities safe and comfortable. They have to make sure that every citizen gets a fair share of road space. Walking, cycling, and public transportation is accessible and attractive, and it's easy for everyone to move around in the city. Everyone breathes clean air, especially the children in the city. There are no lives lost because of that or because of transportation-related issues. Everyone feels that there is vibrant city life, local businesses flourish, and more importantly, all of these initiatives which the cities adopt would be adaptive to the local conditions which are there in their city itself. To make these changes, the cities have to make sure that first, they lay a solid foundation in their city to make that change happen. Second, they have to take action toward achieving those goals. And third, also a very important thing, is to communicate to the citizens about the actions that the cities are taking. To lay a solid foundation, cities can adopt healthy street policies and design guidelines, create walking and cycling action plans. Along with that, it's not enough. They also have to adopt a parking policy and to engage with the startups to create solutions towards public transportation, adopt a startup procurement policy. Also, to bring all of the stakeholders together for effective decision-making, cities can set up Transport for All Transport Task Force, again, making what 99 cities have already formed permanent, creating segregated cells and apex committees for healthy streets to ensure that all of the projects related to healthy streets move forward without any hitches as well. The second thing about actions, cities can implement cycle-friendly interventions and flagship placemaking projects. At the same time, for public transportation, they can create, innovate, and test replicable solutions to improve public transportation. All of the cities which are testing it, these, once they have tested, can be replicated across all of the other cities in the nation as well. And finally, communicate about all of these actions through campaigns back to the citizens so that they also know and appreciate the actions which the cities are taking, and they can also actively participate in that through open street, pedestrian days, and other campaigns like Cycle to Work, Bus to Work Day. Now, all of the cities can achieve these initiatives through the milestones of the 3 challenges, which are Cycles for Change, Streets for People, and Transport for All. And of course, the teams would be here to guide all of the cities to achieve these milestones. But to make it more fun and exciting for cities, we are actually bringing in the 2023 goals in a gamification manner, taking the learnings that we had from Freedom to Walk and Cycle leaderboard, which actually initiated a very healthy competition among cities and city leaders to be at the top. We are taking the same approach as well for Vision 2023 goals as well. And here we are introducing the Healthy Streets, Healthy Cities leaderboard. Through the leaderboard, cities will be ranked on a dynamic basis based on the initiatives taken towards identified goals. It will be used to measure the city's performance and develop interesting and unique data points based on the impact that they would achieve through implementing these permanent interventions. And we are saving up slots for the top performing cities under each of the category. Based on the category itself, 10 to 50 cities would be recognized for their top performing action to achieve this. And a lot of cities have already started taking action. So I think around 25 cities have already initiated the process of adoption of healthy streets policies. Similarly, 25 cities are already taking action to make those pilots that they have conducted into large scale impacts. 28 cities are already moving in the right direction to improve their public transportation. So if you want to be among the top cities in this category, all you have to do is fill out the Google form that the team will share with you soon to share your updates with us, your status with us. More importantly, actively participate in the challenge and work towards the goals. Again, the team would be here to guide you through the process and handhold, walk with you towards the success, and finally share regular updates regarding your progress so that you can move up in the leaderboard. The more initiatives you take up, the more proactive action you take, the higher up you would climb in the leaderboard to make sure that walking, cycling, and public transport becomes safe in your city. And with that, let the games begin. Over to you, Aishwarya.
Thank you so much, Vaishali, for that very, very exciting presentation. And the work done by the cities has been truly phenomenal. And we hope that this momentum continues in the future as well, and that our country becomes a pioneer for great walking, cycling, and public transport initiatives. Before we close this session, we have a few questions from our audience, and I request Ashwati and Vaishali to join us for the Q&A session. The first question: if my city has not taken part in the challenge, how do we receive the support to work towards these goals? Ashwati, if you may respond.
Thank you, Aishwarya. I think we have the perfect answer to your question. There is season 2 of the India Cycles for Change and Streets for People that have been launched, and we are looking forward to working with each one of you towards tangibly transforming our streets and adding infrastructure that makes walking and cycling safe for our cities. So we are very, very interested in supporting you in creating tangible transformation on our streets. So we, as Vaishali shared, while the leaderboard is going to be there, every kilometer of transformation is things that we'd like to work closely with you. So we look forward to having you as a part of the season 2 journey.
Sure. Thanks a lot, Ashwati. The second question, if my city has gone forward in stage 2 of C4C or S4P, do we still work towards these national goals? Ashwati, if you may.
Yes, of course. While we have started taking action in the right direction, we have not embraced them entirely. And hence, in the stage 2, step by step, we will help you in working closely with you, identifying other champions or other support that you required from your cities to make sure that this tangible action happens on the street. I think in the first phase of our India Cycles for Change and Streets for People challenge, we really embrace the testing approach. Now is our time to leap ahead, to show permanent change on the ground. We've always heard of cities across the world talking about hundreds of kilometers of permanent transformation. Now is our moment to show permanent transformation. And we at the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, Smart Cities Mission and ITDP are very, very happy to work closely with you towards that permanent transformation.
Thanks a lot, Ashwati, for the responses. This truly has set the bar high, and we hope to see many cities transform. In the interest of time, we request the audience to share other questions and their email IDs in the Q&A box, and we can share the responses from the panelists to you offline. With this, we come to the end of this evening. But before we close, I would like to invite Mr. Rahul Kapoor, Director, Smart Cities Mission, to address our audience with a motivational message and closing remarks. Over to you, Mr. Rahul Kapoor.
Thank you so much, Aishwarya. In fact, when you said motivational message, I think I was the one who got motivated by this challenge. And first of all, congratulations to all the winners, the cities and the individuals, the city leaders, the citizens. I think those who did not get a prize, even they have been winners because they've all got some personal gain in terms of health and fitness and a kind of momentum that we need to continue with, because these 26 days of focused efforts, sometimes we do cycle, we do walk, but then not in such a focused and dedicated manner. And when you say like Freedom to Walk and Cycle challenge leads to healthy competition, well, then I would say literally yes. It leads to healthy competition amongst all the participants, leads to better health. And I guess this is just the right kind of thing that we needed at the start of the new year, even with the COVID pandemic, with the kind of things that were happening all around us. Some of us did get affected during the challenge process, but then the motivation was never low. I mean, we were just waiting to just recover and get back into the challenge mode, in the competition mode. And I just request all the cities, the goals that are there for 2023, please focus on those, because you have started taking the first few steps. Now you just have to reach the milestone. And along that journey, you will have several partners, several friends who are there to support you, walk with you. And we sitting here in the ministry, people in the cities, civic organizations, everyone wants to be part of this movement, and the momentum that you have created, just take it forward to the finish line till 2023. So with that, I would just like to thank all the team members, all the winning and participating members today, the teams from ITDP, from my ministry, even those who wanted to participate but could not, because there was a limit of 5 persons for each of these teams from each of the cities. And I'm sure, even though your name was not there in the list of 5, still you continued to participate. I would like to thank all of you especially, because it's about the spirit of walking, cycling, and running, which we need to keep going. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for those inspiring words. And like you rightly mentioned, we believe that we must leverage the Freedom to Walk and Cycle challenge experience and take bold steps towards the 2023 goals. This brings us to the end of this wonderful evening. Congratulations once again to all the walking, cycling, and running champions. And thank you to all our commissioners, smart city CEOs, panelists, senior officials, nodal officers, engineers, project management consultants, community partners, and all other stakeholders for being part of today's session and making this a grand success. We hope this session has left you feeling inspired as it did with us. Looking forward to joining you all in this revolution that we've embarked upon. Until then, stay safe and keep up the momentum. Thank you and good night.